Welcome to Molybdenum Software Show. The Molybdenum Software Show, the one and the only show where you get to look deep into the eyes of the developer while they make the software that you love and you probably not use, because who uses this stuff? Only like a handful of people on a leaky boat. See if you get the reference. Handful of people on a leaky boat.
I don't get it. Sorry.
We're not going to. I'll tell you later.
Okay. Keep people engaged. Very good.
What do we? Let's start. So here's a screen.
Yeah. I think CI is broken, right? So we need to fix that.
Let me go here and T7 browser. Alt open and GitHub repo view web this way.
Okay.
Well, is it broken though? I mean, here's actions. And we're looking for branch main. And there's the latest one.
Okay.
We have 4 workflows apparently.
Okay. Which one is failing?
Fails and fails. It failed first here. Axe flatten tree. Maybe we have failed to update it.
Oh, the path is right there. Docs.yaml. Okay. Cool.
Error flake. Does not provide attribute.
Hey, we renamed that. Okay. That was an intentional rename, and we probably need to update some YAML file somewhere.
Hold this. Let's see. Fix docs action workflow.
Yeah.
Workflow. Here's an editor. Workflow docs. Next
Sweet.
build.
So we could, if we wanted to, put that last step, the deploy, in some sort of like if main block, and then always run this workflow on PRs to make sure that we haven't regressed on the ability to generate the docs at least. And then we wouldn't have merged this breaking change up.
That seems interesting. Okay. From start, create.
I mean, CI is not fast right now, so I'm like not necessarily in love with making it even slower. That said, we did break something.
This will happen in parallel.
Oh, will it? Great.
At the moment.
Cool.
Yes.
So I don't know GitHub Actions. Can you do an if statement in the middle of it, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Something like this, and then if. GitHub action work.
If branch main somehow.
Like step something if. See that? It was if condition.
Oh, I see. There's like some programming language DSL expression thing.
Yeah. Git actions run step only when branches when yeah, the default blah 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 blah. So there's this.
GitHub.ref. Okay. They're not actually looking for the default branch, but that's fine.
Can be is what the default branch actually is instead of hard coded names. Yes. Maybe it's correct. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to prove it. GitHub event payload.
I think it's called contexts. If you Google like
What
GitHub workflow context.
event? GitHub.event. Work. But it's the event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Context.
So yeah, you're right. Maybe this will link to the event.
Events and payloads. GitHub. I don't know. The event. Let's say the event is merge, right? Or something like, or push. Push. Blah, blah, blah. And then if rev, what was it? Repository?
Yeah, I didn't see default branch in there though.
Next.
Here. I'll take the screen as soon as you'll give it to me. Thank you. Yep. All right. So is there an I guess I'm a little confused. Like this thing right here even shows like a refs. Like this is the check that just spat out of GPT. But ChatGPT is telling us there's an event context or something?
It was, oh yeah, at github.event.repository.
Mm-hmm.
We saw
Okay.
repository.
And it was default underscore branch or something?
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Made it up.
I don't know. This event doesn't. Okay. There it is. It's github.event. the full event webhook payload. You can access individual properties using this context. It's identical to the webhook payload of the event that triggered the workflow and is different for each event. Okay, so you're right. You were looking at the right docs a moment ago. But we didn't see default branch
Push
anywhere in there.
webhook.
So
Fine. Hard
payload.
code.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Oh, it's called master branch. Oh, jeez. There's a thing here.
Oh, cool.
This is for create. I don't know what kind of create this is. When a branch or tag is
Create a branch repository.
Feels not like the event we're dealing with here. Okay, I'm inclined to just hard code it.
Sure.
Main. Here we go. So we're going to do something like that. Sorry, it's very bright in here. Get fetch. And what's the branch we're on? Fix docs, CI workflow, mob start. Okay. Default branch. So we're just going to hard code main here. And then on is going to look like all our other ons, right? So.
Oh, there's no change. Yeah.
Well, but we do want this to run. Doesn't this need to change?
No, you're right.
Like we want something like this, I think.
On push, on pull request. On pull request.
Do we also need a push so that it runs when it lands on main? Or is that what workflow call does?
No. We need, you need on pull request and on push branches main.
Oh, okay. And then is workflow call so we can trigger it by hand?
Yeah. Yes. But
should I leave that there?
So where was that?
I just went over here to check.yaml.
I mean, and this is check. Yeah, I don't know why we have that. Maybe because it is being called from another workflow. Probably the case.
Yeah.
This one is not.
Just tell me what you want me to do, I guess. Delete it? Because it's not being triggered?
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Okay, great. And then what is this going to do? Upload, like, I don't understand what this step does. Upload page artifacts. Upload page artifact.
Uploads. Yeah, it uploads to GitHub pages.
And then what is deploy pages? Which is the next step.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they belong together.
Like, what's it mean to upload but not deploy? I didn't realize there was a separate deploy step for GitHub pages.
Well, as you can see, I don't remember, but as you can see, deploy doesn't take, where it's not given any argument, so that doesn't make sense, right? It needs something to deploy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's two different steps, but there it is.
Okay, so we're going to put another if statement here, or can we somehow cleverly nest this?
Can we nest?
Like, I'd love to do, like, steps, you know? But I'm just making shit up. Is this a thing?
I don't think so.
Bummer. GitHub actions, nested steps. Composite action? you know what these are? Does that kind of
Well,
like require a lot of
multiple jobs.
like we're going to create a new YAML file or something?
Um, runs. We'll probably get more lines.
Yep,
Whatever way this works.
not feeling it. Okay, so we'll do something like this. Why are these two separate steps? Okay.
But can't we still upload and then only deploy if it's main?
I don't know. What is it? I feel like I need
Should
to
read
read up
about
on these.
this.
Yeah. It is a composite action for packaging and uploading an artifact that can be deployed. While choosing to use this as part of your approach to deploying to GitHub pages is technically optional, we highly recommend it since it takes care of producing mostly valid artifacts. Okay, so this creates a zip file with a very special name, or maybe a tar file. And then this is about releasing this action itself. So I guess we can, they're saying read this thing. A composite action that prepares your static assets to be deployed. So it does some tarring if you're on Linux, gtar if you're on macOS, massage the paths for Windows, upload artifact. So this calls upload artifact at the end, which is different than upload pages artifact. And it specifies a retention days. Okay, so it does feel to me like this is like it gets staged somewhere. And if you don't actually turn around and then like deploy the thing, it just gets deleted at some point. So I think you are right that we could upload it, store an artifact on, effectively an orphaned artifact on GitHub servers for a few days, and then never actually deploy it.
I think we should do that.
I mean, that's like not actually the craziest thing, because like some projects will invest in, having like preview branches, preview docs that get created for every PR, So like you wouldn't deploy those to GitHub pages, but I don't know, deploy them somewhere so that people could look at them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
GitHub pages currently doesn't support multiple different deployments.
Like whoever's deploying is clobbering the entire thing.
Yeah, last time I checked.
Okay. So I'd like to see a failing PR before we fix it. So I just did a mob done. I would call this is it a chore? Because it's not a bug fix from our user's perspective.
How would it fail?
I expect it to fail because we this thing right here, this should fail.
Okay. Right.
But I don't know what to title this.
This is a workflow. It has a name. It's called what? Docs?
Yes, it is.
And the final step is to deploy the docs. So docs workflow deploys only on main.
Yeah, I mean that sort of was true before, but works for me. What's our little like semantic commit piece to
Oh
this?
wait, hold on. How is it? Our it, the, it's true. It's true currently. The docs workflow deploys only on main.
Right.
So that's we don't change that. I think what we change is that
Docs
it
workflow
it
always runs,
also
but
like
only deploys on main.
so uh, run docs workflow runs on pull request.
Works for me. Do we need a semantic tag here?
Every time
So what is it?
we need a type, probably build.
Okay. Does that look good?
Yes.
Wait. GHPR create. Boom, boom, boom. Show me the money. Okay, I am a little concerned about our if statement. Like, I see these curly braces here. Any chance, did we do a copy paste fail from ChatGPT, or did ChatGPT just screw this up?
I think they're optional in some cases.
Oh, for like really simple expressions or something?
Or something.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it fails with a syntax error and not just like evaluates to true. Like, I mean, if this is like getting parsed as like a YAML boolean or something. Oh well. I guess we're not going to get far enough to actually check that, right? Because we expect this thing to crash here. So, okay, I guess what we're going to do is we're going to see this crash, then we're going to fix it, and then we're going to verify that our PR doesn't actually deploy. So, and then we'll verify that it does deploy on main. Okay, great. This is unfortunately going to be some waiting, I guess. Do you want to do something else while we wait? Just chat? Or
Poem.
okay.
How do we? We're going to rebase. Do you foresee any conflicts?
I don't even remember what we did. Oh, okay, here. How about we take this as an opportunity for you to teach me about git trim? Can I run it here?
Yes. It has a problem. It kind of you can run it. Git trim.
Should I go to main?
Um, I suppose it will not offer to trim a branch you're on.
Okay, I'm running it. What does
It
that
has
mean?
the
Skip to update it.
don't know. That sounds like just bad English somehow.
Or like it would make absolute sense once you understood it. It's like we're skipping straight to the updating phase or something. I don't know.
Maybe. But isn't isn't is this really part of Git trim or is it part of comma? Most likely
Oh,
Git trim, right?
good question. Pretty sure it's a okay. Pretty sure it's a git trim thing. I guess what I can do is I can do git, what is it, -s, and now I can do a git trim. Hey, maybe I'm wrong, or maybe my repository no longer counts as updated recently. Let me see. So if I do comma git trim, yeah, now there's just a new line where previously there was a message about my repo being updated recently. So I think that was a git trim thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it must fetch, right? Fetching
Maybe.
is part of it.
Okay, so this is a branch we'd sort of expect to have go away. That's work we did yesterday, right? But
But this will
it got
remain.
rebased or something. Yeah, it's saying it'll remain. It is going to delete some stuff. I'm particularly surprised that this is there. Like, does that branch even? Shouldn't that branch not exist
Yeah.
anymore? In the remote?
Well, it does. I'm not sure. Do we have PRs open still?
Ah. Okay. Yes, we do. Okay. So this one needs to get rebased. Got it.
And click the
Okay.
button here to rebase it. The drop down.
This one?
Update with rebase.
Okay. Great. All right. So cool. That makes sense. This is not gone yet. I think it's an open question about if this will go away after the PR gets merged, but I guess I'll learn soon. Main makes sense. I think we were playing around with Utoipa, maybe over in this branch, and then we said, screw it. Let's see how hard it would be to switch to Poem.
Yes.
So that makes sense. This is what we're working on right now. Okay, great. I'm going to say yes.
Well,
Oops, too
look
late.
at.
Sorry.
It's okay. Well, it is safe. It just doesn't play well with the mob tool because notice that some of those that were deleted are the base branches of mob branches,
Oh,
such
okay.
as Poem
Got it.
and Document API.
Oh, okay. But I can do like a git checkout Poem and that'll resurrect it, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm fine. I think I'm okay with that.
Well, actually, hold on. I
Because
deleted the remote ones as well.
I don't see origin Poem getting deleted here. Oh, no, yeah, no, I don't see origin Poem getting.
After delete merged local branches, there is delete merged remote refs.
Oh, I see. Got it. Okay. So we did delete the base branch. Okay.
Yes. And now to restore it is not simply trying to branch out of main.
Sure.
You gotta branch out of the mob branch
Yeah.
in a specific commit of it.
Okay. That makes sense. So what we would do is something like mob slash poem, and we want to find where it intersects with main, which is probably straightforward because it's going to be a bunch of mob
Oh,
commands, and then it must have been this one is where it branched off of main.
yes.
Okay. So then what I would do is I'd do a git checkout, what is it, -b poem, and paste that. And now we've got a new branch. And if I do a git push -u origin poem, it should be back now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I guess I should give document to API the same treatment,
I suppose.
even though we might be dropping that thing soon. Git checkout -b document API. Okay. Great. And then I'll do a git push -u origin document API. Okay. Now if I run another git trim, I'll see a complaint about those two again. Merged local branches and merged remote refs. Okay. I see. So this tool's a little intense. Like if you, I don't know, if you like had a release pattern that involved like creating a release branch off of main, but you didn't actually add commits to it, this would delete the release branch.
I suppose it's configurable.
Maybe.
It also has some flags, and it also tells you if there, in case there are some branches that it would, under some criteria, delete, then it tells you the criteria, like, and the invocation you need to make in order for them. So it's kind of explains itself. It
Got
says, I'm not deleting those, but if you want those deleted, do this.
I guess if I want to look at man pages with comma, I do something like this. Nice. Comma's pretty nice.
What did you actually do? I missed it. No,
So comma takes a
rate's not
-s to drop into a shell
drop
where I could
into a
then run
shell.
man.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. Nice.
Maybe there's a one-liner for that, but this is at least like a useful escape hatch when you want to do something more than just run the damn command. Okay. So we expect this to auto merge. This is just unnecessarily building a bunch of stuff, which is a bit of a bummer. We haven't made any changes in this branch. Oh, but hey, I should take advantage of the fact that this stuff runs in parallel, huh? So I clicked on check, but if we look, we do see that docs failed. Wonderful. Okay, so you were right. These things run in parallel. And this should fail. Yep, does not provide attribute block. Okay, so let's fix the bug.
Yes, please.
Okay, so git checkout. I don't remember what the branch was called. Fix docs CI workflow. Okay, git show. Here we go, workflows docs. And nix flake show or nix run dot hash nixos manual is what we called it.
Not sure.
Well, I did autocomplete over here. Looks like a
Okay.
thing. Oh boy. Or I lied.
It's not an executable.
I see. It's a thing you build.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. Result. CP-R copy recursive result into docs. Okay, and there's an index.html there. Okay, that seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm just going to do a juicy bang to put this straight onto the existing one. Or do we want to do this as a separate commit, actually?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. So git commit. Okay. What is this? Build? Chore? Something? Fix?
It's a fix.
Okay. But not a fix for our users. I guess it kind of is.
It is. The users care about the docs.
Okay. Fix typo. I don't know. Fix
The
broken
cause is less interesting. The fact that it doesn't deploy, that's what
docs
we fixed.
are working. Yeah.
NixOS NixOS docs deploy. Mhm.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Great.
it's a little bit of a lame commit message because we didn't explain like what exactly we fixed there,
Yeah.
but fine.
It was a stupid mistake that we will not make again because we have changed the way CI works. Unfortunately, we won't detect it locally because we just do Nix like check locally, but it's something.
Yeah, that's coupling with this is using a closed platform. You can't reproduce it locally.
Yeah, exactly. Like ideally, you'd be able to run the full CI thing with the exact same command and entry point that GitHub uses.
There's actually an open source reimplementation of GitHub Actions
Interesting.
that you can run locally.
Parses the YAML files and just runs all the commands locally, or actually it's all containerized, so maybe it even does it
Yeah,
all in containers.
it does.
Ugh. And then we'd lose all our our Nix store cache and everything. Ugh. I don't want to do that.
Well, we have a cache action set up, so that depends on whether it supports the cache feature.
Yeah, but it's still like it's gonna even if that somehow worked, it's gonna be pulling it from GitHub probably every time I
What?
run the command.
What do you mean? What GitHub?
Isn't that how
Why
the cache
GitHub?
thing works? Is GitHub provides some persistent storage in the
Yeah, but
cloud?
if the reimplementation, the local reimplementation,
Oh,
won't use the cloud cache.
I see.
It's
Okay, that's
completely
fair.
local.
That's fair. So the local re-implementation, it's still with I've got stuff already in my Nix store, which I'm gonna reproduce locally in a separate cache.
Yes, because that thing doesn't know anything
Right.
about Nix.
That's like the best case scenario.
But
Um,
yeah, like a Nix integration for that,
right.
right?
And I've seen that,
That
like
the
where
store
people,
is your. Mhm.
I've seen people, I've read up on on Nix OS, you can have containers that use Nix, but also share your store with your host, so you're not duplicating everything. That seems like a pretty freaking cool power, but I haven't explored.
Mhm.
I haven't explored any of that stuff because Nix kind of
Mhm.
obviates a lot of use cases for containers for local development, right? So, uh, all right. So things are happening. We're going back to poem. Does that sound good?
Uh, yeah, maybe.
Not sold? You sound uncertain.
I think it's fine. I mean, you switch a branch, that's fine. But I think we probably like. What's the reason we didn't proceed with Poem? I think it's because um we wanted more flexibility in our in our flake.
I don't think that's what brought us here. I think what
No.
got us here was we were working on stuff in this mob branch and we were leaving to-dos around. And then we were talking about okay, sure would be nice to know what work needs to
Right.
be
Good
addressed.
memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's so it was
Okay, so
literally
let's go
there
to
were
main.
two to-dos in main and there might now be one, hopefully.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. So we're down to one. So I guess if we want to like stick, and I don't think this will be another week of work, we would get rid of this to do, and then we would rebase the poem branch. Or
What
we
is
could
this
just
about?
agree to remember that this to do is not actionable or whatever.
Well, what is it? What is it about? This is the utility DB REPL, right?
Yeah. So we've got like a. Oh man, I don't. Have we been documented any of these commands?
Util
Util.
util hyphen. Is the shell working?
It is. Okay. Oh wait, maybe not. You're in reloop. I still don't have a cargo though. I'm a little confused. Ah, well, there we go. Did that a while
Commented
ago.
out.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're back in business. Util db REPL.
And we get some leaking output from something from Postgres.
So all this, I think, is what we're referring to. And I think it could be reasonable to like disable that by default. And I don't know, in the future we could add an option to turn to, show that output if we needed it.
Why does it bother us?
I'm also fine with just deleting the to do. It makes
Well,
it clear that a
does it
database
occur
is
only in
started.
the beginning, or
I
does
don't know.
it
There's
come
probably
back to haunt
commands
us?
we could run that would trigger an error to get printed on the server, but I'm not enough of a Postgres guru. I don't know. Like if I do select, I think these are probably from the server.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can prove that to us. PS tree.
Anything with a timestamp would be from the server.
Yeah, seems
You don't
likely.
get timestamps on the REPL.
But here, let me prove that. Comma PSQL. Will that work? PostgreSQL. Boom. Okay, so now if I do select blah 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 semicolon, yeah. So it does cause extra spew when using the REPL in a way that is a little surprising unless you know what's going on.
Hmm. I don't
That
like
said,
it
I'm
so
okay with
much
it.
because it's a REPL.
Sorry, I
But
spoke over you.
it's
Could you say that again?
I don't like it so much because it's supposed to be a REPL. Like you never get REPLs with like extra stuff from the server,
Mm-hmm.
so it bothers me to some degree. But what's the alternative? Where do we get the out? Where do we get this otherwise? Do you want to create like a file, a local file where this would
Yeah, I
this
mean,
would
the coolest thing probably would be for this thing to maybe default to suppressing it and for it to have a command line option to send it to a file. A completely different approach, like if you just want to hear about like totally out there thoughts, like we're not the only people on Earth that, work on web apps. So there's a lot of prior art in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and one like Nixie thing that is in this space that I have like had my eye on, but have not played around with enough yet, or have not played with
Mm-hmm.
yet, is have you heard of devenv?
As much as I when Domen, the
Mm-hmm.
author of Devenv,
Oh, did you
wanted
interview him?
to, yes, he's on an episode.
Nice.
When he wanted to rewrite Devenv in Rust, I helped him get started with the language. So the very first few lines, few dozen lines of the rewrite, I was sitting right next to him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
So I know Devenv is interested in solving these sorts of problems. I think it's a different approach than what we're doing, where we're like starting up a completely stateless database for each thing,
Mm-hmm.
like each test. Like, I don't know if Devenv has something like that. What I do know Devenv has is sort of the like, oh, when I enter this directory, start up a database for me because I'm going to like do some development against the database. It has like some concept of like services, but it's like not systemd services because it's, works on Mac OS and Linux.
Okay, yeah. There's also my screen locked. There's also a some flake part library that
Oh, here's
does.
another example of some spew. Just by having this open for a while, we see some background stuff that the database does.
Yeah, I think that some simple solution would be to pipe it to a file,
Mm-hmm.
and that's that. Like no options, no flags. Just pipe it to a file.
Works for me. This is
And if you want to
hyper-specific to
read
this
the
repo right
file,
now. So we could have a
mm-hmm.
git ignored log directory in the root of the repo or something. Shall we do that?
Yeah,
Okay. So I'll start with our git ignore. Where do you want to put this? /log.
give us do we have a branch?
We do not have a branch. Good point. Git checkout -b. What is this? Cleaner PSQL REPL. Mob start. And I'm probably overdue for rotating, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Mob start -- create. Okay. I will hand off to you, sir.
Okay. But I woke up early and started to feel the effects of that. So please, hands-on navigation here, please.
Okay. The branch is called cleaner PSQL REPL. And I think let's start in our git ignore and decide where we want our logs to go.
Here?
Love it. Works for me. And then let's hop over to dbrepl.rs, although we're probably not going to make it.
Sorted it.
Love it.
Beautiful.
So I think we'd probably be changing the database context
Sorry,
with...
I don't have tooling. I need to restart this
Okay.
editor.
So database context with right now just
Still don't have
unconditionally.
tooling though. Cargo? Busts. No, here and...
Do you need to do it during Valau? Did you block it at some point?
Maybe the...
Okay. So yeah, let's dbrepl.rs.
Now I'm getting a shell.
Wonderful. Okay, one of our PRs just landed. I'm going to rebase the other one, the docs one, and enable auto merge on that.
Yes, please.
Boom. Confirm auto merge. Okay.
Just here, okay. Mob next. Here is what I'm going to do. Mob done and git stash and git switch main git pull and switch cleaner and git base main and git push and start git stash pop.
Okay. I'm not following this at all, sorry. What is the thing we're stashing? Oh, did you do this in the wrong branch or something? Is that the problem?
You just I want to rebase. Basically, I just want to rebase. This is rebasing.
Oh, okay. What a pain. Sure, sounds good.
Mob done, git stash, git switch main, git pull, git switch back to the base branch, and that's that.
Yeah, just like that. All right.
Took some practice, but it's here. So now I should have an editor. db repl.
Okay. So I think this with function, right now it unconditionally prints stuff to stood error stood out. I think we'd have it take an optional sort of like file where it could send the output to.
Why optional?
Well, I mean, we could look at all the other places where database context with is used, but I think there are places where, like, we use this thing for running tests, I believe, and I don't like the idea of, splitting our test output into multiple streams.
How about we start at the usage, like here?
This to me feels like the usage.
This is the usage. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I was proposing maybe with takes a second parameter, which is the file or something.
Here?
Yeah. Or we could add a new function called like with logs to file or something. Like if we feel like this is an awkward API.
Maybe just have an enum that says log or don't log.
As opposed to giving it a path.
Yeah, because the path will always be the same path. We don't have another use case of another path, and this is private API anyway.
Sure. Works for me. Yeah, so it could be an enum or it could be two different functions. Like, totally whatever you prefer.
Two different functions would mean that we have another function that both of them call or something like that.
Exactly.
So like logging, in this case it's on.
Yeah, well, logging is on in both scenarios. I think for me it's about where the logging's going.
Okay, so
it's like output or
like pipe to file.
Yeah, or like log destination.
Log
like the destination could be, console or terminal or file.
It's it's like stood in out.
Oh yeah, I guess we could give two knobs. One for stood out, one for stood in. One for stood out, one for stood air. That might be cleaner.
Why we don't shouldn't over engineer it. We have one use case
Mm-hmm.
or like two call sites, right? We have two variants nexted.
I think we probably have at least three, but
Three variants?
I think so. Because I bet we use this thing. We have a utility for like
Share
Superlex
screen.
prepare.
Why did we why do I get a notification with workflow run cancelled for main branch?
I don't know.
Show us, please. Timer.
Where?
Thank you. In our repo, show us the actions tab, please.
Mm-hmm. Is this an example of a cancel?
I think so.
Cancel. Canceling since a higher priority waiting request for pages exists.
Hmm.
So there you go.
What?
I think this is probably just like it interrupted this because I don't
Well,
know
that's
why
the
this would be
main
higher.
one.
Yeah,
I think it's just arbitrary priority, or like undefined behavior priority at the moment.
maybe. Yeah. So, I mean, I hope that main runs again. I mean, I know it will because this PR is
I
eventually
think
going to land.
we didn't understand that if we upload an artifact, there is like a singleton place to upload artifacts,
That's a good
or
point.
does it? I think I
Is there
think
some
it's not.
state that like remembers the thing that was just uploaded
It's unlikely, is it? So that's not the problem. I think no. I think they read from each other maybe. Um,
without us connecting them though?
yeah, they're
Weird.
because they're in the same. Does it does
Is
does it
there
have
like
an
a shared
ID?
file system or something?
If that step has an ID, then that's what the ID is for. But it does not.
This is not the latest code, which makes sense because I think our docs PR hasn't landed yet. But this still shows that there's no obvious glue between these two steps. Does it assume that
We
there's
need
a
to
path called docs? Is that the magic?
we need to read this, I think.
Like, does deploy pages say what the convention is or something?
I think I don't know. The docs, the full docs is to read both of them, but
Mm-hmm. This action deploys a page's site previously uploaded as an artifact, e.g. using block. We recommend this action to be used in a dedicated job. I think we're breaking that rule. So here it says needs build. Okay. At a minimum, this job should upload artifacts. Okay, so they're not explaining why, but they are suggesting that we refactor this a little. And then here's the thing we're doing, but okay, inputs, does that explain? Okay, the default artifact name is GitHub Pages. So it does
that's
feel to me
probably
like
the
there's a
default.
global namespace of artifacts for our project or something?
Yeah, we need to read the other one as well.
Yep. Okay. Not a lot here, but if we look at action.yaml, GitHub pages, there it is. Okay, so it has a parameter called artifact name. It's not required. And then how does name get used? Here we go. Okay, so it calls upload artifact, name and path, runner temp. So that's the thing to upload and then where to put it. And then the question really is this upload artifact, is this scoped to the workflow? Or is it just like scoped to the entire repository? Upload artifact. What's the scope of this stuff? Is there like a high level summary? This is not helping
ChatGPT
me.
could help answer some questions that are tedious to find.
Let's give it a shot. Okay. I'm curious about the scope of blah. Does it upload to a place shared by all workflows in my repo? Or is it scoped to each workflow? If we believe this, each workflow has its own set of artifacts. Do you believe it?
Yeah, because the docs are clear and they've been there for a long time.
The bottom of the workflow summary page, there's a dedicated section produced during runtime. Okay. All right. So I think we're fine. There's this like implicit sort of global artifact namespace per workflow. And
so that part of it is fine.
Yep.
But what about the part where like there's only a single run is allowed of what was it?
There's a higher priority waiting request.
Could you on the left click docs, click the workflow so it filters by?
Yep.
There's nothing in progress now.
Yeah, so that's a sign that it didn't. That's a distressing thing, right? It's like we would have even if this was a little lame, it would have been okay if it started again after this one.
Well, cancelled mean cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps ChatGPT knows why it's cancelled. We kind of are surprised that it is cancelled. I don't think we might not want it to be cancelled. What's the deal there?
GitHub Actions. Oh, there's a concurrency thing. Have we written some? We have. Okay, so maybe this is our fault. We wrote this code right here. Why did we write this code, and what do we want it to be? Should this group get scoped to the branch name? Should we just delete this
Why do
thing?
we have this?
I would guess was it to handle the scenario where like 2 PRs land quickly in main, and there's just no reason to keep building the old PR, the old hash on main.
But does this appear in any other workflows?
I think not. RG concurrency. Okay, it doesn't show up anywhere. What? What's wrong with my? Oh, is RG not going into dot files or something? Ugh, git grub. Yeah, that's the only. I think RG is ignoring dot folders. Uh, yeah, that's the only place where we have concurrency.
So we must have had some idea on why this is here. Group, pages.
Well, we didn't say why we did it. This is the commit where we added it.
Uh, that's not nice. That's not even typical.
I mean, if it smells to me like the benefit of this would be if multiple things land on main quickly, you interrupt building the old thing so that you can get
The
to building the
old
newer
one,
thing.
yeah. You know, sure. For that case, maybe it does that.
But part of me is like, I don't care. If you do care, maybe we can like do some string interpolation here to create a concurrency group per branch.
why don't you care?
I mean, I'm just willing to wait. You know, like say we delete this code and then say 3 PRs land in main. I'm okay with just like waiting for the docs to get built 3 times.
It's not nice.
Then I think if you care, which is totally fine,
I think this
I respect
should
that.
occur on publish, shouldn't it? Maybe not. Maybe there should be for each version of the software should have its own published docs somewhere. You know?
Yeah, so like there's a thing we're missing, arguably, which is like a historical documentation of old versions. We don't have that right now. And you're right. Like if we had that, then every build in main would be allowed to run to completion and upload its stuff into the right place. But then there'd have to be some magic to like update the latest symlink or whatever to actually point at the latest thing. And that would be a separate, I guess that would be a separate workflow that only runs on main somehow after. But I don't know. I mean, that seems like the easiest fix to this problem is to delete these 3 lines of code.
But that's, it's like you find the problem, you fix it in some way, and then we made a change a while later.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to just remove the fix to the problem that we. How is that?
I mean, I don't feel like there's a problem here. Like, we have not achieved a level of success or development velocity on this project where we're feeling the pain of, like, PRs landing all the time. You know, like, someday, if this project gets to the point where it's under constant development, it's a miracle of success, then, yeah, we'd need stuff like this. But I just don't feel like we've earned it. And, like, if there was a straightforward way of doing it that didn't, like, involve adding code to our repo, like more logic, then I'd be like, yeah,
Well,
absolutely, let's do it.
the name of the group probably subject to expansion here.
I have no idea. But yeah, like we could, if they let us stick the branch name in here, that would probably be the behavior we want. It's just more code, and my bias is less code is better.
Well, less code is to revert the change to this even runs on anything but main.
Sure, we can also, just go back to the way it used to be.
But the more code is just a little bit more. It's just that
Sure.
interpolation, if that works.
I'm just not.
Hmm?
What is the issue with just deleting these 3 lines of code, though?
Because it might happen, right?
Yeah, but the
It
right
might
thing will
actually happen.
when if two
Right.
PRs land on main. And honestly, I'm not even convinced that it's possible because CI is so slow, and we strictly enforce that like PRs are up to date. Anyways, like for 2 PRs to land in main, one has to rebase after the other one lands and then redo all the checks. And in the meantime, main is building and publishing its docs. I think it's challenging for us to even trigger the situation that this is trying to fix.
Yeah, PR needs to be rebased, yes. That's just a time based. That's just a safety in time. Safety
But, well, I'm not
in
saying there's
time
safety here. Like the right thing will happen, even if our PR checks were instantaneous.
You think?
I believe so. But maybe that's why we're like kind of talking past each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think there's something unsafe about deleting these 4 lines of code?
Yeah, if one takes inexplicably slow,
Oh, got it. Okay,
and
and then
the next one
that
is
one.
very
Okay,
fast.
sorry. All right, now I hear what you're saying. That makes sense. And so the argument is, I want that older one to publish the docs and claim that these are the latest and greatest docs, when actually,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Sorry. Now I'm with you. Do we have that issue in other ways though? Like, I guess we don't release published artifacts to crates.io or anything, so this really is the only like artifact publishing we do. Okay.
Well, no, we publish. In fact, I mean, this should actually be in the publish. Like building the artifact is fine. That doesn't need a group. But publish, like deploy to GitHub pages,
Mm-hmm.
that could be with our release thingy.
Oh, right. We do have a release thingy, of course, because we
But the
publish
thing
GitHub.
is, our release thingy only runs on releases, which I guess any changes that you would care about document, like that you made a change to documentation, would probably trigger a release, unless we've not configured it this way.
I mean, what I'm seeing here is just anytime main changes, we release.
Release a what? Oh, yeah, we'll run. Yeah, but that thing you run, that's not actually release, right? The release program, it analyzes the commits and determines whether to make a release.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So this arguably has the bug you were concerned about, right? Like, if main changes twice, you could end up with 2 of these jobs running in parallel, and there's no guarantee about the like order in which they finish.
Yeah.
And the issue there is like, well, okay, actually they're going to create two separate releases with different names. And the names are going to be correct. But the latest release that you see, like when you open up the page on github.com and look at the list of releases, I don't know if that's sorted by semantic version or if that's sorted by like actual creation time.
Time.
Okay. So if it's sorted by time, then this release workflow we're looking at arguably has the same race condition bug that you're concerned about with the docs, right?
That's so. Yeah, that one should have the group, shouldn't it?
I mean,
But you know,
it feels
Mhm.
like the same sort of problem to me.
I
And
think
maybe
you're right. Yeah.
this release one could be, doing the docs as well. Like
Hmm.
this docs one builds the docs, but it's the release one's job to carefully, you know, do all the things that are a release, which is docs and, a GitHub release. I'm just not enough of a GitHub workflow guru to know how to hand things off between workflows like that.
Hmm. Can we? Are there changes in this branch?
Git diff cleaner. Oof. What? Oh yeah, okay. That makes sense. We started adding that. This maybe is because some code has landed in main. Not sure why that's showing up there. But this is the two things we did.
So let's switch back to main.
Add key. Wonderful.
Any PR that's still open?
Yep. So I'll rebase this one.
Please.
Okay, so that's chugging along. That's the bug fix to get the docs working again. All right.
So I think documentation are just another artifact.
I agree.
Can you can you, show us our like release RC file? These are the list of plugins.
Okay.
One of them is exec.
Okay. Pump version. That's not something we wrote. That's like some command provided by semantic release.
I think it's a script we made.
Oh, really? Okay. Got it. It's a shell script that does cargo set version. I see. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. And we could somehow mm, publish something from, let's say we keep on we have we let's say we have only the latest docs. I mean, ideally you'd have all the versions and you'd keep adding docs for more versions.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, that feels like a separate thing.
GitHub pages might not be the right. Well, it is, but it sounds like you need to keep artifacts. You know, like you need to store, because how do you even do that? How do you even you don't want to. What are you going to do you're going to generate all of the versions on every
I doubt
release?
that's what real projects do. I mean, we're using Nix, but I still wouldn't want to, even if I had
Mm-hmm.
confidence in our reproducibility of being able to recreate the docs, I wouldn't want to pay the
Well,
CPU
just
cost.
the amount of work and the amount of
Yeah,
cache that you would need for that.
yeah, exactly.
Perhaps a more reasonable. I mean, artifacts are artifacts. I suppose they supposed to and can live forever. You could just keep adding to some
Yeah,
mutable thing.
yep. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's the way that you do it if you wanted to architect a GitHub Pages thing. Like, I don't know enough about GitHub Pages. What you've told me sounds plausible, which is you're just declaring the entire thing, not adding to it. And so if you want to do it that way, if that's the way it has to be, then I guess you, like you said, you'd be like uploading the docs to some mutable, appendable place. And then the generation of the GitHub Pages would have to download everything from that mutable, appendable place and, produce a bunch of HTML files accordingly and update the GitHub page accordingly.
And if we were to only post the latest, only host the latest, and only do it only through semantic release, we're no longer in GitHub Actions workflow territory. We are we're running a command, like
Sure.
we need to
But
re-implement that thing.
I'm not convinced that we
Okay.
have to do it all through semantic release. Like we could, and there might be something nice about that. But I also feel like it would be reasonable to put it here as just another step as part of releasing.
But here you don't know whether you actually released or not.
I mean, if we added another step right after this,
Then whether you cut a release or not, that will run.
oh, I see. Okay, but I mean, that's how our docs work now, right? Like
Correct.
every time main changes, we update the docs.
And that's why they're not here. That's why that workflow is separate.
So I guess I don't understand how we have semantic release configured. Like, what's the
Mm-hmm.
logic it uses for determining whether or not there's a release?
Commit analysis.
What about the commits would make it think I don't need to do a release?
That there is no commits of the types that trigger a release, that trigger a version bump.
Okay. This is about the tags that we put in the commit messages.
Yes, those are called commit types.
Okay.
And there's
And
the
some types
special.
don't trigger releases, huh? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like a thing called a chore that would not trigger a release, or it would?
Correct. Refactor would not. I
I
think
see.
docs by default would not.
Okay. I didn't know that. I thought these were all patch releases. I didn't realize it had rules about what counts as a release.
So, at the very minimum, I would like us to prevent this race problem. Just prevent it. And the way to prevent it is if we could group and also achieve, that it's running on PRs, that is, we could group with the branch name. That is probably a feature.
Yep. How about I'll rotate over to you. Let's give it a shot.
Timer is a good start.
Okie dokie.
I thought I fixed that. You know what? Didn't fix it. You know what? I fixed it. I fixed it, but I was on my laptop. The way I fixed it is by disabling Atuin. NHOS switch. Just not acceptable. Oh, I also see how this will be the full path, an absolute path, instead of just say infra, which is the directory I'm currently in, directly inside.
That's nice to have.
Especially since I'm already allocating an entire line.
Yeah, that's my thinking. So I used to have one line prompt
There
where
it
I
is.
needed to keep it short, but it's
Okay.
nice to just be able to copy that.
Restart
path.
this. Cool. Main. Full. Do we have a branch for fixing that? Switch.
Wow. This is like turning into a thing every morning.
Fix docs CI workflow, right?
My internet starts acting up right at this time, maybe. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're here for me.
All right, we'll see.
And I'm here for you.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so if we want to fix the race condition, I think we go over to docs.yaml and we pray that we can do some interpolation.
I like it. Where is it? Oh, group.
Yeah.
Is it with a dollar? Without a dollar? Let's ask the chat. The much knowing, the much knowing chat. Give it that. GitHub Actions, a workflow concurrency group that includes the I don't know, the current branch name.
Sure.
Setup, includes the current branch name using dynamic concurrency group name. Concurrency feature in GitHub Actions multiple workflow at the same time. To include the current branch name in the concurrency group, you can use that, as in group. Oh, look, we can be dynamic all the way.
Okay.
With the GitHub workflow and the ref name.
Let's give it a shot.
So we
Let's see.
Let's see. Let's a diff against the base branch. That's all. And we mob done this.
Should I stop this PR? It hasn't gone yet. The docs workflow runs on pull requests. Still in main. Or we could disable auto merge on that PR and append. Do it.
Explain to me what you are on about. There's a PR here.
I propose that this is a bug fix on this PR. So we could just stop this PR.
It's a bug fix on this PR? I disabled the auto merge. What is this PR trying to do?
This is the one where we added. I mean, we're fixing a bug, but we did 2 commits in this PR. One of which was to have this thing run on pull request.
Runs on pull request, but only deploys on main.
And so I feel like this change...
That is incomplete.
Yeah, so this is what you just did is a bug fix for that commit. So I think we could do a fix up on there.
Fix up. Good. Which branch is this? Fix doc CI workflow. All right. Git stash. But I'm on it. It's stash. Okay, so I'm sorry. Didn't realize it was the same one. So add that and then git. Was it instafix?
Git commit dash fix up.
What is that? What is git instaweb? I'm sorry. Is this real?
Yeah, Git's got like hosting stuff.
Instantly browse your working directory repository in Git web.
Yeah, I mean Git predates GitHub, right? So they did some way to.
I'm sorry. I need to do this. Oh no, I don't have light TPD. Wow. You know what's the last time I heard the name light TPD?
I don't know.
It was probably 20 years ago. Okay.
Git comes from that
era.
I
do have Git instafix. This one.
Oh yeah, you mentioned this one. Sweet. That's the one.
So it's instafixing that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's done. It show head tilde would this together with that.
Love it.
And this.
Love it.
Okay. Push F. And I've rotated effectively.
Great. I'll refresh here. Start timer. Okay. So looking at the diff, just sanity checking. That is what we expect. There are 2 commits.
Share screen.
Darn it. Okay. All right. Pull request, concurrency group. Love it. And the bug fix. And then an if statement to only deploy on me. So we're good. I'm going to enable auto merge. Okay, cool. And in the future, we can talk about this project is successful. We could rework the release process to behave more like we talked about.
Sounds tedious.
Maybe we'll just do that on the next project we start and learn from trying to do it that way. So, all right.
Maybe that will be the next project we start.
Tooling to make this easier.
a continuous delivery flake parts.
Yeah, there might be an opportunity somewhere in this space.
Can it be made into a commercial open source software company?
That is for you to answer. I haven't read the books.
Mm-hmm. Maybe after I've gotten some sleep.
Okay, do we want to land this plane or do we want to poke at Palm?
What would be poking it?
I mean, we
What
could
would
start by
poking
just
it do?
trying to rebase,
Rebase
see if
what?
we run into conflicts.
Rebase. It's not based? What? It's not currently based?
Maybe it is.
On
Did you already rebase it?
I did not. What?
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. So there's this mob.
oh, you mean
poem
poem.
branch.
Sorry. You meant poem.
Did I say something else? Sorry.
Okay. No. And what about the to do?
Oh, right. Thank you. Yep, we haven't earned the right. Get rep to do.
Gotta earn your right.
Yeah. Okay. So we
Earn
have
your
a
stripes.
cleaner
Yes.
PSQL REPL. That's the one. Okay, mob start. So this should be straightforward. Let me get a fresh shell. And we're going to logging destination or something. Log destination.
Did yeah. It's not really.
It's not about
It's
stadium.
it's a log. That's what it get. That's what it prints. That's what it seems to print.
So
Hey, yo, whoa. Shh. Sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you, but you're not allowed to scratch the. It's a cat outside, so she gets. Good dog.
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like log destination captures the concept. We're talking about the logs and we're talking about where the logs go.
So there will be file and there will be none. Not all caps.
Yeah, okay.
It's Pascal case.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay. And then we need to define log destination.
Ooh, this formatting now reminded me that I really would like my editor to be able to use Nix.Fmt.
Hey, I have a project for you to help me finish. You know I have a plugin for that, right?
Yes, I remember that conversation.
If you wanna take a session to help me push it over the finish line, I would love some help.
Why is there I'm surprised. Why is there no? I mean, Nix.Fmt existed for a while. What does everyone do? Does every single Nix developer not What's the deal? What was this an
You and I
alternative
have an
to?
opportunity to create this thing, announce it, and then learn about the thing that everyone does. Or everyone will use our thing because it's awesome. And I'm sure they're all NeoVim users.
Every NeoVim, yeah. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
Anyways, I know we're trying to stay focused on this project, but I unfortunately got that thing working just good enough for me, but not good enough to try to upstream it somewhere, and I need to just spend some time. So if you want to help me with that, I sure would love it.
Sure. Maybe you'll teach me some Lua.
Yeah, I know enough Lua to do damage. Okay, so log destination. Where's that going to come from? Is it DB context?
Yeah. Wherever the database context is.
Something like that?
They can be merged. There's probably a refactor for that.
Oh, okay. Let's give it a shot. Split import.
Maybe because they don't resolve.
Okay. Well, let me create it. So this will be a pub enum log destination. Kind of weird. Oh yeah, we're in DB context. Okay, great. And this will be file. Is that it?
E and none.
Merge imports.
We need the alternative, right?
Yes, I was going to wait until we actually had a use case for
it. Okay. Fancy extreme programming.
Extreme. Takes one argument, but two arguments were given. So
if you wait until the very last moment, the more you wait, the more extreme it is.
I don't. Oh man. Destination. It's been a while since I've written Rust, Shahar. How do you do this? The types go colon?
For you, first the binding name, okay, identifier, so and then
destination.
Colon.
Like that?
Well, it's not going to be just destination, I think. It's going to be the log destination.
Sure.
In this context.
I like that.
And
what does it not like? Yeah. Does it not like the... Consider choosing a more descriptive name? Really? Wow.
Wait. Did you save it first? Is there a problem now?
I mean, I've got an error, so maybe let's help me with that one first.
Did you... It's in the function once. It's not in the... Sorry about the noise.
Mm-hmm.
It's not... Shouldn't be in that function once. That's like a signature...
Oh, gosh.
Of a past function.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, great. Log destination. Log destination. Thank you. Okay. And it's not used, which is wonderful. Totally fine. That's going to be something about how we initialize this context. It's going to need to know. Yeah. So this is going to need to know when it starts up. Postgres, going to have to redirect it to a file. So we could just type the log to prop drill it down. Does that sound reasonable?
Yep.
Okay. And then we'll log destination there. Okay. And how am I on time? Okay, I'm going to rotate.
Is it rotated?
It is rotated.
All right.
Stop sharing.
Start sharing. I have the helm. You have the helm. It's 7. What branch are we on? Start switch main. Switch cleaner. Start. That would be maybe context or something. Here. No valid diagnostics. This is passed into init, and here it must be unused, right? What's the deal? There you go. Now it's unused.
Great.
It's something with this command.
Yeah.
That needs to change.
Can we get our code compiling first before we make this change?
Code compiling. Like cargo build all targets or something? Workspace?
I don't know. But there should be one or two other uses of that function that need updating, right?
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah. Okay. There we go. What's this? Test. This is
Tests, I
test
think we
context.
should keep it all in one place. So I would say log destination is, stood out or terminal. Like, I don't know what a good word is. It's like not stood out because it's going to be a mix of stood out and stood error. I mean, we could call it stood out error.
It's called pipe or inherit.
Yeah, inherit would work, I guess.
I'm taking it from stood command process stood in. For example, stood out, and it takes something that's into stood.io.
Mm-hmm.
And stood.io is stood.io can be instantiated with inherit, with makes
Okay.
pipe, with null and piped. So this is where it gets inherit from.
Works for me.
Child inherits from the corresponding parent descriptor. Good, right?
Works for me.
Generate. Save all files. And then follow the breadcrumbs.
Just context.
So which is this? What is that? Another test. Context for something. Well, it'll be inherit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Log destination inherit. This is SQLX prepare.
I'd say this should be another inherit. This is a command we run that it's not a REPL.
It's not interactive.
Yeah.
Log destination inherit. Shh. Okay.
Great.
Now we have only unused.
And now it's just complaining about that unused variable.
Yeah, this is
Something
an
from my editor.
unintentional.
You're welcome.
There we go.
Cool. So this is a good stopping point, or we can finish it up right now, whatever you like.
No, I need to walk the dog and progress toward the soft destination, the fluffy, warm,
Awesome.
final destination of this day. So here's the mob next. So that's next.
Great.
What's up with our PRs? We've stopped this one. Let's draft it.
Wait, why is it a draft?
No, it's not. Sorry, wait. This one should now be.
This is ready to go. We enabled auto merge.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah. That's exactly why I need to go to bed. Ready for review. Did it like cancel the checks or drop the checks or something? No, they're still running strong.
That's nice.
So enable auto merge.
Okay, so it did drop the auto merge, which is reasonable. Wouldn't expect auto merge on a draft. Yeah, so hopefully we will wake up to this thing merged.
Brilliant work. Mostly on your part. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
And thank you, audience, for watching. I hope you've been entertained and educated thoroughly. Please like, share, subscribe, and even sponsor. Till next time. Bye-bye.